What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Tears Take. I am recapping the Real Housewives of Miami, Season 7, Episode 17, the finale. It's called Frosty Friendships. If you're new here, I recap reality shows on a weekly basis. Come join the party if you would like. Please give me a subscribe. Let me know your thoughts below in the comments. And if you like the content, then go ahead and like the video as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive in. Gonna take you scene by scene, give you the highlights, and give you my honest takes along the way. Let's get into it. Okay, so the episode opens up with Marysol and Alexia having dueling Christmas parties. They said it was a conflict by accident. Production was probably like, y'all better wrap this up because we only have one more week with the crew and we got like 4 parties to film. But we'll pretend that they just didn't know. So, like I said, they have parties on the same day, and half the group goes to one, half the group goes to the other. At Marysol's party, she has a lot of stuff. She has, matching pajamas to give away. She has a jewelry claw, a Santa there. Larsa, Adriana, Gertie, and Stephanie attend that party. And then Kiki, Julia, and Lisa go to Alexia's event that she's having at her beauty bar. While at Alexia's event, Julia mentions that she has an upcoming event that will kind of collaborate the Florida Opera House and the local adoption agency, because those are like 2 things that are really near and dear to her heart. And opera music, classical music, has been, proven to just really help calm people down and be an aid to those who suffer trauma, like those through the foster system. So she's trying her best to just kind of like pull all her interests together. So go off. So at Marysol's party, Gertie pulls Adriana aside and she's really like pouring into her. She's like, you've been such a stellar friend to Julia. Like, what's going on there? It seems like Julia is so numb and closed off towards you, and you've just been so there for her. And Adriana says that she feels used. She says Julia is so self-involved. I said, bingo, that's what I've been saying this whole time. And like, I really like seeing how Gertie has always shown up for the other women. She has always been, especially this season, she was really supportive to Lisa. She was very supportive to Adriana, and it's just always the strong one there, always the listening ear, always the one who's encouraging her friends. And I just don't see that reciprocated to Gertie. I feel like people brush her off. I feel like it's no big deal if you get, a drink thrown in your face in front of everyone. It's no big deal that half the friend group walks out of your event. It's no big deal. Like, it bugs me, but, whatever. But, let me know if you have different thoughts. Okay. So back at Alexia's event, she talks to her son Peter about Todd, and Peter, pretty much doesn't care about the BS and all of the details back and forth. He just wants his mom to be good. And in the confessional, the producers ask Alexia, hey, we know Todd apologized to you, but did he ever apologize to your boys for the way things went down? And Alexia said no. Couldn't be me. So at the other party, we kind of get like split scenes of like the two groups talking about the same topic. So we see Adriana, and she's telling the group, she's just so hurt by Kiki. Like, I can't believe Kiki would shame me for my age and like do all this like mean stuff. And then on the other side, we have Kiki telling Julia, like, she's confused why Adriana was bringing up racism. No one called Adriana a racist. And, it's just like weird that things kind of escalated. And Julia tells Kiki that they just need to sit and talk directly. And, this is like one of the many times that this topic has just been like really like hush-hushed. Let's move on. Let's just not even go there. And no, let's go there, because Adriana, you want to sit up here and call and say that I called you a racist and like I can't like talk about it? Nah. Anyway, we'll get more into it later on in the episode, but that really bugged me. So we head on to Julia's event, and this is the event for Florida's Grand Opera, to meet and mingle with the foster care agency so that they can hopefully do some more collaborations down the road. Kiki looks amazing as usual. She has been killing it, especially this season. After she gets there, she proceeds to flirt with Martina, which was funny. It was funny on Kiki's end, but Martina just gives me the ick. So I'm like, that's who you want to flirt with? Okay. But, it was funny and cute, like whatever. Alexia and Marysol attend the event, but the other girls do not show up. Julia says in a confessional that she's so upset that Adriana couldn't come and support, and she's equating that to Adriana not caring about her sons. Girl, I hope you don't pull a muscle, all those jumping to conclusions and all that reaching that you're doing. Girl, bye. First of all, Adriana told Julia that she had a conflict. A conflict. It's not like it was a no call, no show. It's not like she backed out the last minute. It's not like she lied and made something up just so she, would not support Julia. It's documented on the TV that she had a band rehearsal. And so to go in your confessional and sit up there saying, oh, she doesn't care about my sons because your event is partnering or exploiting the foster care agency, you're so gross. But then again, I knew you were gross because of the person you married, and the person you married doing really messed up things off the show, and the person you married saying, oh, your daughters are going to regret not talking to us if I get cancer again. Like, who throws around things like that? You both are just manipulative and gross. Ugh. I don't want you on my screen. Julia, do not let this be Julia's last season, please. And Adriana, I hope you pay her dust at the reunion. Don't even give her a storyline. Don't even give her a potential storyline for next season. Pay her complete dust so she can get off my screen, please. Okay, so then Julia performs. I fast forward. I've had enough of her. So hope you all enjoy the performance. So then we have Stephanie and Kiki's Christmas party, and the ladies arrive. They all look great. Kiki and Adriana talk, and Kiki apologizes for the math equation on the cake, and she clarifies that she never told anyone that Adriana is a racist. She's like, I just want to make that very clear. I never said that. I never thought that. And Adriana just brushes past it. She's like, oh, well, let's just move on. No. We're not moving on because I need to know why you're lying on me, saying I called you a very serious name. People kind of throw around the word racist a lot when it has a heavier meaning. And so there can be somebody who might be prejudiced, or there could be someone who's uneducated. There could be someone everyone has bias to an extent. There can be, some anti-Black sentiment that's just baked into the freaking colonizer world that we live in. And so there are so many layers to what can drive someone towards these microaggressions or macroaggressions or acts of anti-Blackness. So to throw out the word racist where you uphold systematically oppressing another race, that is such a heavy term when there are other terms that are kind of on the spectrum of racism, and people are just so quick to throw that out. And it's let's be careful the way we throw it around, because there are other racist, there are real racist, period, and there are real racist actions that we need to call out. And so if you're too busy calling people, you're racist, that's racist, you're lessening the impact of calling out the real racist things. And so that's number one, is that That's such a heavy term to throw around. And number two, bitch, you were lying. Kiki never said that. She never said that to you. She never said that to anyone. It's not on camera. Lord knows the producers would have rolled the tape. So, like, where are you getting this from? And the fact that you say, oh, girl, I just want to move on. No, we're not moving on. We're not. Don't sit there and put words in my mouth saying I'm just throwing these really mean, these crazy terms and accusations out so casually. We're not about to do that. Don't you ever lie on me again. That's what Kiki should have said. We're not moving on. You need to apologize for lying on me. That's what we need to do. So then after they move on, Kiki and Marysol tell Adriana that Julia was upset that she didn't make it to her opera event. And Adriana just blows up. She's just like, oh, so you guys are coming to shame me at my own event? Like, this is what you want to bring up at my event? Blah, blah, blah. She gets upset. She walks away. And honestly, like, I don't blame Adriana in this moment, because don't come to me with some BS about my friend or my family. Like, don't address things with me that you have an issue with, like, from your own point of view, but don't come being someone else's spokesperson. If that person has a problem with me, let that person address me. Or at the very, very, very least, say, hey, you know what? I think you and Julia need to talk. She kind of vented to me a little bit. I think it's just best that you guys talk, and I'm going to stay out of it. But don't sit up here and like, oh, why didn't you go? Or Julia's upset, and I think you did. No, we're not. No. So I think Adriana, rightfully so, like, walked away from them in that moment. So they tell Julia what happens, like, hey girl, we tried to talk to Adriana, she got upset, she walked away. And Julia says that she did reach out to Adriana the next day, and Adriana never responded. So Adriana comes out to perform at the party. This is what Stephanie and Adriana, have been coordinating this whole time. So all the guests go to a different room, and they wait like over 20 minutes for Adriana to come out. So she comes out late, and then she's gonna sing some late songs on top of it. So she's singing a song from 2012, another one from 2022, and then she had some random song about a dog. It was a mess. So then Julia pulls Adriana aside. Adriana tells Julia, like, look, you're just so into yourself right now. You're so into the other girls in the group. Like, I'm not vibing with that. And Julia says, well, you introduced me to the group. Like, of course I'm going to develop friendships, and you're punishing me because I'm developing close friendships. Adriana's like, girl, don't gaslight me. Like, I don't have time for this. So things start getting escalated between them. And then Julia was like, well, why didn't you come to my opera event? And Adriana's like, girl, I'm in a 12-person band. I can't reschedule 12 different people to find time. You're not taking my craft seriously. This is something I've been doing for 14 years. You just started last year, and you're trying to compete with me. And then Adriana, like, asked Julia, like, are you trying to compete with me? Like, where did this singing even come from out of nowhere? And on top of that, you didn't even tell me that you were performing at your event. So, like, you're just, like, mischievous in that way, that you just all of a sudden picked up the same hobby as me, and now you're all of a sudden, showcasing it on the show that I brought you on. She didn't say that part, but there's always, like, a nuance, like, thing about the show that a lot of these women have at the center of their fight. She is clearly just asking for more. And so Julia's like, well, have you checked on my children? Adriana was like, well, am I their godmother? Child, fair. Adriana continues the drag, and she's like, you used me to get in this group. You got what you wanted, and now you're just going to throw me away. Then in a confessional, she says that Julia doesn't really know who she is. She doesn't really have a secure identity. She's always changing her personality and changing herself to fit whoever she's with, and she's been engaged 9 times. She was dragging this woman, and I was here for it. And she's always changing herself for the new shiny objects, whether it's like her 9 engagements or whether it's within this new friendship group, and she's, leaving Adriana to be friends with Marysol and Alexia. And she said, yeah, like, who gets engaged 9 times? But that's what Julia did until she landed a champion player. I said, ooh. And then in the scene, Adriana reminds Julia, "Bish, no one was checking for you until I brought you onto this." She didn't say until I brought you to the show, but that's what she meant. She was basically like, no one was checking for you until I gave you this opportunity. And, I brought you here and you should be thanking me. Gagged her. Julia was like, oh. Gagged Julia. It was amazing. So, and then a confessional, Julia says, on the outside, she was my best friend, but behind closed doors, she made me feel so small. I'm so sick of it. I'm so over the abuse. And I'm like, girl, you seem very capable on standing up for yourself. So I don't believe that Adriana was punking you in any shape, any way, because we've seen how you get down, Julia. So I highly doubt she was behind the scenes just like berating you. So then while the group is together, Kiki brings up that Marysol had just told her that Marysol actually gave Adriana the word wretched. She basically threw her a lifeline and was like, this, you calling her ratchet makes you look really bad. It makes us really bad. How about you say that you meant the word wretched and that's going to save you? And so Marysol told Kiki that she kind of did that favor and gave that word to Adriana. And the reason why Marysol ratted her out was because she's starting to hear things about Adriana talking about Marysol. And Marysol had told her, like, yo, if I do this for you, like, let's just call it truce for a few years. Like, leave me alone. I don't want to keep going back and forth with you. And she started hearing things and she's like, you know what? I'm gonna let Kiki know. And so she did. So Adriana tries to backpedal. She's like, no, Marysol's manipulating the situation. That's not how it happened. Like, I meant this, I did this, and she didn't really give me the word. She's always doing like the mental gymnastics. And, then they start going back and forth, Marysol and Adriana. And Stephanie tries to calm everything down and was like, oh, like, I have gifts, and like hands out gifts to everyone. But if I was Kiki, Stephanie, hold your gift. Let's talk about this. Like, they brushed past this way too many times for me, way too many times for my liking. I hope they talk about it in the reunion, because you're not about to just sit up here and throw some microaggression at me and then we're going to just brush past it. No. And then you lie about it. And then you want to sit there and cry about it saying, oh, I didn't even call her that name, but she still like is telling everyone I'm racist. Like, you're going to lie. You're going to throw a microaggression at me and then lie on me. And then we're supposed to just brush past it. No. Nope, and nope. And then we see like their final like title cards. So basically, I'm just gonna run through these really quickly. So basically, Adriana is taking her show on the road. Her 2 old songs and a dog song? I don't know. But she's taking her music on the road. She's still not talking to Julia, which is great, I'm sure, for her. Kiki is still working on her relationship with her dad and is buying a new condo. Kiki, listen to me. You're gorgeous. I love the looks. And you're funny once in a while. You have gorgeous kids. You got to come back with something stronger. You got to come back with a stronger storyline. Or you can just be a friend. Because the dad storyline was not storylining. I don't know. I really wasn't into your storyline this year. It was great to see more of your life. But let's amp it up a little bit next season. And leave Gertie alone, because I still didn't forget, Kiki, that you threw Gertie under the bus multiple times this year. Julia, one of her daughters actually reached out and met with the boys, and so that was great. Larsa is dating another ball player. I'm like, okay, girl. Gertie is still in therapy. She doesn't have any plans on any reconstruction surgery at the time. Lisa developed an app with Jody, and one of Stephanie's sisters actually reached out to her, which is progress. And Marysol is looking forward to get married in another location. I guess that's just going to be their thing. And then Alexia's divorce is final, and her and Todd are no longer currently together. So that was the end of the episode, the end of this season. Wasn't their best season. It was not their best season. I found it really frustrating. I think the girls and their treatment of Gertie was just so off-putting. I wasn't really, I never got fully on board with Stephanie. I'm not sure if I really like her on this cast. Like I said, Kiki was kind of getting on my nerves. The girls need to step it up. That's my message. Step it up. Producers, step it up. I think the backdrop of Miami and Spain and the cruise and the location changes, you know, the fancy parties, all of that is A+ across the board. But some of those interpersonal dynamics and relationships were frustrating to watch. So, ladies, do better. I give this season maybe like a C+, B-, right around there. Let me know your rating below. How would you grade this season? How did you feel? You know, some of the big things we had was Alexia's Todd debacle, Adriana versus Julia, Adriana versus Marysol, Gertie versus Julia, Lisa versus Larsa, Kiki versus Adriana. So, you know, the list goes on, but it fell flat. I have no urge to rewatch any of these episodes. That's how I feel. So I think I'm going to lower it down to the C+. I have no desire to watch any of these episodes again. Whereas, you know, there are other seasons or other episodes that I'm like, ooh, I want to go see that again. I don't feel that way about any of the episodes for this. So it happens, but let me know below your takes. And yeah, just thank you so much for watching. Check out my other videos if you haven't already. If you did like this recap, give it a thumbs up. And I'll see you all in my next video. Mwah. Bye.